My name is Mehdi Hadi. I go by Mad on social media, and I'm a director and designer living now in Casablanca in Morocco. So I cannot draw. I don't draw. I'm not good at really. I have a pen pencil and try to. So I go straight into just reference photography, and very quickly I go to 3D. I'm good at kit bashing. I'm good at placing 3D elements in a scene, and it's way more easier for me to do that than just try to draw something or yeah. So straight to 3D. As long as I can remember, I always was interested in images in general. I always tend to just fix a image on an illustration or a movie and try to find a way to maybe make that. But so I always was interested in imagery in general. But my background is very. I just learned 3D in the subway, watching 2 hours of tutorials on my BlackBerry Bold, and from that came like to a year of that process. So and then it was about commercial work, cinematic stuff, and now my own short film and my own IPs that I'm developing. But yeah, lot of failure and search and try some a bunch of stuff. After Effects and Cinema 4D was the main piece of software that I use. And when I first discovered Cinema 4D, it was kind of magical for me because you were able to make very complicated animation very simply. Because in Maya, for example, it's very complicated. You have to have a pipeline. It's very slow to learn. And Cinema 4D is like a kid's toy. So yeah. It's actually in my case the opposite. Is the teacher that help the creative in me because uh, teaching able me to do something that I would not do if I don't have to make it learn to somebody. So the fact that I have to learn rigging and very technical element in cinema 4D or in imagery in general to be able to teach that to other people, that helped me on my like creative side to push a little bit more the limit of what I can do. And yeah, teaching is a great way to be better at your craft actually. It's a combination of the three factor actually. In my work, cinematography is key. I love cinematography, and I love photography in general. And all those photography, if you don't have a nice piece of well texture elements, it's not really interesting. If you have the best like 3D models with the best texture with the crappy lighting, have no that won't do the great thing. So yeah, it's the combination of the three factors is very important. So I work everything in sync basically, and I try to upgrade every aspect of a shot of or a project at the same time. Mainly photography. Yeah, photography is the main source of inspiration for me. That's generous. But the French touch for me, it's more about. I think French people we are able to do a lot with less. We don't have to. We are very resilient, and we try to make the best as possible, even if we don't have that much to do it. So it's more about the very focus on what to do to have the best results, whatever the cost or if you are like over budget or over time or whatever, but you will bitch about it, you will be angry, you will cry, but you will always have to you'll want to have a good piece at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that is the different touch to be able to craft something at the fullest of your abilities. For me, like I just hate to disappoint. No, I make this job to make people feel something, and as much as I can upgrade my work to make that feeling appearance in somebody, I'll just do that. Yeah. Well, obviously AI is one of the biggest like shifts in our industry since I don't know, maybe 3D. So so there's a lot of different feelings about AI. Mine are very quiet. I'm just using that as a tool to help me like move faster to another step of production, to upscale texture, to it's more like very a tool than an inspiration. Yeah, I rather use like Pinterest or photography than just like try to generate something with AI. But I always use AI to upgrade a little bit piece of my work here and there when it comes to texturing, lighting, and something that I would miss or not think about. But yeah, just like a very nice assistant, but nothing more. Wanting to have a nice render very fast. Yeah, this is the main issue. They want to make things so fast without thinking too much about it. And I think you have to take time and think about it and just like if something doesn't work, just remove everything and start over. And yeah, I think that the rush to have something very cool and fast without the spending too much time on little minutiae details that makes a good images. I don't know any software at like 100%. It's like 20% of there, 50% of there, and I jump software to software to be able to do specifically what I need on a project. So I think you have to be interested in everything, and if you want to be specialized in something, it's a very like um, secluded, parts, and I rather be on every part of the production, so I have to jump to every kind of piece of software that I can use to make something that I need. So yeah, more the jack of all trade aspect. The amazing thing in our industry and our job is to you have always to find a new way to do things. You have to find a new way to learn things also. Otherwise, you like stand still and you will never evolve. And you always have to learn new tricks, new software. So it keeps you on your toes. Keep you a little bit sharp. But yeah, I couldn't like every project come with different problematic, new brief, a new story, a new style, and you always have to kind of renew yourself all the time. And I think that's a good thing for the brain getting old. But I think Cinema 4D it's a good compromise between uh, all the current 3D package out there. So you have the procedural aspect of Houdini at some degree. You have the animation tools that you can find in Maya, plus the kind of Cinema 4D layer on top of that. So all the effectors, all the MoGraph element that could improve all those previous statements like simulation, procedurality, and animation. So that for me is the base package because I do motion design project and this is the most well-known motion design tool that we can find today. And I always like clicked right away with Nano 4D with the way it work and you can interact with the software is very like I say, it's like a kids toys, yeah, with bright icon and big one, and you just have to make different combination to have a different type of animation. and every kind of failed experiment um, goes to a future animation. There's a lot of animation that I never like thought about, and it was a mistake, but it was a good mistake, and I just take that, and that goes through project now. So it allowed the artist to experiment a lot very quickly without a huge amount of technical abilities, and just move fast, break things. Dream projects. I am developing IPs at the moment, so this will be, I think, my dream project. Building a world in which people can imagine new stories and evolve in that world. I'm not that much of a um storyteller per se. I'm thinking of me more as a world builder with a set of rules, a backstory, in which you can like imagine whatever you want in this. Like it could be a video games, a TV show, a film, or just a novel. So just world building and making something, and people can like run with it. That my dream like project. Always the next one. But no, it was at the very beginning of my career. But I would say that having like awful project is a very good thing because it's where you learn the most about clients, about how to show your work, about how to defend your work, and just how to work in general. But for me, the worst one was a commercial I did at the very beginning of my career for Coca-Cola, and I haven't slept for 4 days, and it was a nightmare of a production. And that's thing even today. But it was huge. It was a lot of teaching in those moments of like very like depression, and want to cry and want to sleep and I can't. So yeah, the very first production was th- hell, but now it's like with experience and confidence, it's like way more easy. Yeah, it will come with time, I think. At the beginning, I wanted to replace the clients at all cost and accept too much. So just never say no, because I thought I'm new in this industry, and if I say no, it's like done for me. And be able to say no, it's just putting your foot down on something, able you to have some kind of respect from the client. Like that, he doesn't have the impression of he has to do everything. So that was a confusing kind of experience for him, for me. And just learn to say no, and it's going to be like that, and no other like way. So, but to a degree, you still pay the film, so you have to negotiate and try just a common ground, and just try to defend your idea as much as possible. I started motion design. I was a nurse. I took care of old people, and I learned motion design watching 2 hours a day tutorials on my small BlackBerry board for a year. And I didn't have any computer at the time, so I just watched tutorials to watch tutorials. And when I had a bit of money to buy a computer, I just started my career. So I didn't pay any school. I was on my subway, the 13 line, for 2 hours a day, and I just learned enough to start to have a demo reel. So if I have severe ADHD problem, so I'm very building creating images is the only thing I can do. I can't do anything else. And if you are motivated enough and you love images and creating things, you'll do it. No questions asked. But you don't need to have a school or an expensive school to make it. Just need to be very driven by wanting to create and to just be happy doing it, and just that's enough, I think.